Hello everyone, my name is Varun and welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoyed watching my first video of this course and excited to learn more about building websites. If you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend you to watch this video first and continue with this one later. My first video was regarding the introduction of this course. I have also explained which tools you will be required throughout this course. Don't worry, all the tools we'll be using for this course are totally free of cost. You don't have to pay for any subscriptions or one-time payment to use these tools or softwares. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I hope you have already downloaded Xampp software on your computer. But if you haven't, then the very first thing we need to do is to go to apachefriends.org. This is the website that is going to provide you Xampp. It comes with Apache Web Server to power WordPress. It comes with PHP compiler that WordPress is built with, and it also has Maria database so that WordPress can actually communicate with the database. Last is Perl, and we will talk about Perl later in the upcoming videos. For now, you just need to focus on these three tools. I'll be covering the installation of Xampp only for Windows users. Since I'm using Windows operating system, I will not be covering the process for the installation of Xampp on Mac operating system. If you are a Mac user, I recommend you to take a look on other tutorials on YouTube about the installation of Xampp on Mac. Now, for Windows users, I would recommend you to click on this Xampp for Windows to download the Xampp. Once the Xampp is downloaded, you can start installing the software on your system. To install the software, all you need to do is to go to the downloads in the file explorer. Here you will find the exe file of Xampp, which we have recently downloaded. Double click on this, and if you are using the latest Windows operating system, you will get a pop-up like this to allow this app to make changes in your device. Hit yes, and you may also get a warning pop-up if you have installed any kind of antivirus or anti-malware softwares. It is totally normal. Just click on yes to continue the installation. After this, you may also get one more pop-up. Just hit OK to begin the installation. Then all you have to do is just hit next, 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 and next. This process can take some time, probably like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on your system's configuration. You might also see a pop-up of Windows Firewall. So in that case, just select everything and then click on Allow Access. Now the setup is finished and it says, do you want to start the control panel now? So in this case, actually we don't. We don't want to start the control panel now because I want to show you how you can start Xampp control panel manually. So what we have to do is to uncheck this, and now we have to hit on finish. Now Xampp is successfully installed on your system. Whenever you want to access our website or server, first of all, we'll have to go to this PC and then where we have installed the Xampp. So what we have done in the past is we have installed it in the local drive C. So we'll open that up and now we'll click on this Xampp folder. And now once we are in, we have to go down and look for the file name that is Xampp hyphen or dash control. Just double click on it. This is actually the control panel that we'll be working with. In order to run the WordPress, there are only two modules that we'll be working with. The number one is Apache, which is going to be a server, and the other one is going to be MySQL. for the database. Do not click the Start button yet, as you may see an error by doing so. When you are going to start either the first module, that is Apache Web Server, or the second module, that is MySQL, the Xampp may give you an error. The reason of getting an error is due to the conflict with the port, which doesn't allow your local host to work properly. So now I'm going to explain you how you can get rid of this error by changing the port in your system. It is not necessary at all that you will get an error, but I would highly recommend you to change the port of the sham. The reason for that is Apache basically uses port 80, which is the default port. And sometimes if you install other softwares that also uses the same port, port 80, then there is going to be a conflict, or in simple terms, you will get an error. Either the Apache web server will not going to work, or the other softwares on your system will not going to work. That is why I would highly recommend you to change the ports on Xampp. Before changing the port, let's see how port 80 is working in the background. Let's take an example of Facebook. Type facebook.com colon 80. You will see that the website will still run. Reason I already told you. Port 80 is the default port for all the HTTP based websites. Port 80 is always there, but the Chrome is actually hiding it. Now, you have a good amount of knowledge about the relation between the port, that is 80, and HTTP websites. It is time to change the port now, and trust me, it is a really simple process. All you have to do is click on config next to Apache right here, then left click on that, and then you have to click on this Apache httpd.conf. Once you are on this file, you have to go down, and right here you see that you have got this listen 80. So instead of this 80, you have to change this to 8080 or anything you like. In my case, I am going ahead with 8080, which is going to be our locally hosted website on Apache web server. Then you can go down a bit more and remember whatever you have written over the first place. In my case, which I have written is 8080, you need to add that one more time. And right here, you can see that we have got the server name localhost colon 80. So make sure to change here as well, which is going to be 8080 in my case. Once you are done with that, you have to just save this file, either use a shortcut of Control S, or you can go to the file option and then click save. Now all you have to do is close the file. Our process to remove the error and changing the port is now complete. To confirm, let's click the Start button on Apache module. Then you can see that it's been started and our port is actually 8080. Now let's try to open localhost website on Chrome browser. So what we have to do is type localhost colon 80, and then what you will see is it is not going to work, as the error says that localhost refused to connect. The reason is simple. Localhost is not an online website. Localhost can only be accessed by us. I mean, the person using the system. So, even if we type colon 80 or not, the Chrome will automatically add the colon 80 because that is a default port. Since we have changed the port now, that is why every time we'll visit the website, we'll have to type colon 8080 so that Chrome will know that okay, the port is actually changed. So now what we have to do is to type in here localhost colon 8080 and then you have to hit enter. This is going to take you to this page. This is Xampp page. So this localhost is going to be your website address. You can see that we are being given a default website created for us. So what we have to do is to first of all get rid of this default website, and after that we are going to create our first PHP file to test if our server is working. All you have to do is to visit the drive C, and after that you have to go to Xampp directory. After that you have to click on this htdocs. So this htdocs is basically your public folder or the root folder of the website, which means that whenever you will type in localhost colon 8080 on your browser, this server is going to take a look inside this htdocs folder, and then it is going to run the files in it. So to get rid of this default website, delete everything from htdocs folder. Just select all and press delete button. After deleting all the files in htdocs folder, if you visit the website again by typing localhost colon 8080 in the browser, or if your page is already open, just refresh the current page in the browser, you can see that now I am actually being given an empty folder which says index of root or the first folder. So this htdocs is going to be your root folder where you are going to be adding the website files. This is it for this video. In the next video, I will help you understand how you can install WordPress on Xampp and the importance of htdocs folder. Before closing everything, here comes the most important part, and that is when you will be shutting down your computer, or you need a break from developing or building websites or learning WordPress or Xampp, you must stop both the modules on Xampp. Yes, this is really important. Stop both the modules Apache and MySQL from Xampp and then close the Xampp software. This is the most crucial and important step to follow to turn off the Xampp software every time. Similarly, when you start working on Xampp or WordPress again, always remember to turn on both the modules. Hit start on Apache as well as MySQL before opening the browser. This is it from my side on this part. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned and please feel free to ask any question or queries you have in your mind. I'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions. Thank you and see you again in the next video.